Okay, let's dive into this. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today for this explainer. We are unpacking a genuinely fascinating framework. It's called the Empower 180 Six-Box Talent Matrix. Look, if you have ever struggled with figuring out how to fairly, accurately, and actually effectively evaluate the people on your team, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're going to survey the entire framework, but our main mission is to decode one very specific, often completely misunderstood category: the coach box.
I want to start us off with a question. It sounds simple, but it's actually the root of a massive organizational trap. Are you promoting performance, or are you promoting potential? Seriously, think about that for a second. One of the single biggest, most dangerous mistakes in talent management is promoting somebody simply because they're crushing it in their job today, without ever stopping to check if they're actually ready for the complexity of a completely new role tomorrow. Right? Performance is just how well someone delivers right now. But potential? That's their future growth capacity, their learning agility, their judgment, their readiness for heavier lift. If you mix those two things up, you are going to end up with a team that is overpromoted and completely overwhelmed.
So to fix this, we need a roadmap. Here's exactly how we're breaking it down today. First, the talent decision problem. Second, the six-box matrix itself. Third, our deep dive into the coach box. Fourth, evidence over impressions. And finally, turning classification into action. We're going from the macro right down to the micro.
Starting with Section 1, the talent decision problem. Let's look at why traditional classification usually just falls flat. A lot of organizations, they kind of fly blind. They rely on gut feelings, personal impressions, or completely vague assumptions. Or they try to shove everybody into these traditional 9-box models. And look, traditional 9 boxes can be useful, sure, but let's be real. They are often incredibly complicated, super abstract, and honestly just really difficult for managers to apply with any real consistency. People are messy. They don't always fit neatly into a static, high, medium, or low bucket. The Empower 180 matrix, on the other hand, is completely different. It's simpler, it's sharper, and most importantly, it's action-oriented. It's actually built for real workplace realities.
Moving right along to Section 2, the six-box matrix. Let's zoom out and look at the whole landscape.
So here they are, the 6 boxes. New support, strong growth potential, top potential, coach and manage, coach, and master. What's really brilliant about this setup is how it tackles those exact problems we were just talking about. For example, check out new support in the top left. This model distinctly separates brand new talent from low performance. It protects the newbies from being unfairly judged before they've even had a chance to learn the ropes. And then, down at the bottom right, you have the master category. This uniquely respects your expert contributors, those loyal, hyper-reliable folks who provide amazing stability and quality even if they have zero interest in chasing a management promotion. The whole point isn't just pushing everyone blindly up the ladder, it's about recognizing exactly where people are and what they uniquely bring to the table.
All right, Section 3. This is our deep dive into the coach classification, a totally classic organizational dilemma.
So here's the formal definition. The coach box includes employees who meet current expectations and perform well, but, and this is absolutely critical, they have limited readiness for immediate progression. Now, think about your team right now. You absolutely know someone in this box. They are a rock-solid performer, you like them, they do great work, they're totally acceptable, maybe even fantastic in their current role. But if a bigger, way more complex role opened up tomorrow, they just aren't quite ready to take that leap. The massive danger here is that because they are performing so well today, we might accidentally promote them way too soon.
Well, why exactly do they land in this specific box? It usually boils down to a few very specific gaps. Sure, they meet expectations, but maybe they need a bit more consistency in their day-to-day output. Or they might need some serious confidence building before they can be expected to lead others. Sometimes, the gap is just purely functional. They literally need stronger technical depth to handle a wider scope of work. Or, it could be about behavioral maturity, like their ability to navigate tricky conflicts or think strategically. The big takeaway here is that these employees aren't incredibly valuable. We definitely want to keep them, but they absolutely require deeper capability before they can successfully take on that larger role.
So what do? The crucial point is the leadership action. If someone falls into the coach box, the model doesn't just leave you hanging. It dictates exactly what you must do. Provide focused coaching to deepen their capability and role mastery before even considering them for advancement. You definitely don't put them on a performance improvement plan. That's reserved for the coach and manage box. And you don't throw them to the wolves in a stretch assignment just yet. That's what the strong growth potential box is for. Instead, you provide highly focused, targeted coaching. You give them bite-sized development assignments. You build real feedback routines. This model literally prevents premature promotion by forcing you to slow down and give them the exact support they need to realistically grow.
Which brings us to Section 4, Evidence over Impressions. It's all about calibration discipline.
The entire quality of this matrix, the whole shebang, depends entirely on the discipline behind it. You cannot just place someone in the coach box based on your mood, office popularity, or just what they happened to do yesterday. Fair assessment has to rely on a robust, balanced blend of observable evidence. We are talking about hard performance results, clear quality indicators, tangible customer and peer feedback, and sustained manager observation over a measured period of time. You've also got to factor in their documented coaching history and readiness indicators, things like adaptability and judgment. When you sit down to evaluate talent, the question isn't, how do we feel about them? The question is, what performance evidence do we actually have? It completely shifts the focus away from subjective opinions and replaces it with structured, undeniable data.
Finally, Section 5, Turning Classification into Action. Let's talk about how to actually implement this.
Let's walk through how this builds a really disciplined cycle. It takes 4 clear, straightforward steps. Step 1, define the standards. You have to outline the performance and potential indicators for the role first. Everyone needs to know the rules of the game. Step 2, collect the evidence we just talked about. No guessing allowed. Step 3, calibrate the talent. This means having real, sometimes tough, honest meetings with HR and leadership to place employees into the correct boxes based purely on that collected evidence. And then, Step 4, agree on the action. If they land in the coach box, you agree right then and there on a monthly or quarterly rhythm to coach them for consistency and to deepen that technical capability. It's a continuous loop that ties your talent discussions directly to actual leadership action.
There's a quote directly from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. The matrix must not become a static label. It must become an action system. That right there is the golden rule of the Empower 180 framework. If you just slap someone into the coach box, save the spreadsheet, and walk away, well, you've completely failed. Employees can and absolutely should move from one box to another as their evidence changes, as they build that confidence, and as their readiness actually increases. The value isn't in the label itself. The value is in the action it forces you as a leader to take.
So I want to leave you with this final thought to kind of chew on. Is your current talent matrix just a static label? Just some simple HR exercise where you put people into abstract boxes once a year? Or is it a true action system that actually drives development, accountability, and sustainable capability? If you have people on your team right now who perform great today but just aren't ready for tomorrow, you now know exactly what to do. Embrace the coach box, provide that focused capability building, and watch your team truly thrive. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep asking the hard questions, and I'll catch you next time.